Hello, and welcome to episode number 8 of the Bone Broth Acne Cure Question and Answer. I'm Toni from toniATcultivatedwellbeingDOTcom, your go-to resource for living a sweet, rich life. In each episode of this show, I'll read a question submitted by a reader and give my very best answer. If you have a question of your own, please feel free to email me at toni@cultivatedwellbeing.com. That's Toni with an I, and we'll see if we can't get your question answered on one of these next shows. Today's question is from Lise. Lise and I have been going back and forth in one of the comment threads on cultivated well-being for quite some time. She's been curious about bone broth and what it can do for her, and she has a great question that I wanted to share with you guys today. And it says, if bone broth quote-unquote heals, why would one backslide after a time of not drinking it? Is it not a permanent healing that is taking place? Just curious, I would still continue the broth even if it wasn't a permanent fix. So that's a great question. I get that question a lot. People ask, why do you keep drinking it? If it clears your skin in 2 weeks, then why do you keep drinking it? And the answer is because bone broth is a solution that actually provides our bodies with the nutrients that we need to stay healthy and to keep our gut lining intact and to keep things healthy. A good analogy is if you're a gardener, how you replenish your soil every year. So you fertilize, you feed the soil, you feed the plants, and the plants grow and continue to take from the soil. So as we eat and as we experience our lives day to day, and we have stressors and we have kind of external stimuli that create problems for us, whether they're the food that we're eating or the stress we're experiencing in our lives or some sort of uncontrollable external factor, those can be depleting for our health. They can be depleting on our immune system, and all of those things happen in the gut. The immune system happens in the gut, a lot of it. And our ability to stay healthy relies obviously on our immune system and how well we can assimilate the nutrients we're eating from our food. So we want to keep bringing nutrition back into the gut as much as possible. And if we're not changing our diets, so one of the things that I talked about in my post, which I can link here, so you can read it if you haven't read it yet, just kind of telling my experience about how I healed my gut and cleared 20 years of acne in 2 weeks by drinking bone broth. One of the things that I chronicle is the changes that I made in my diet over the course of years. I went gluten-free for a while. I'm still very much low gluten. I still call myself gluten-free, even though from time to time I will have a bite of something here and there. I went dairy-free for a while. I've reincorporated dairy successfully, and that's fine now. I went shellfish-free for a very short time because I love it too much to give it up. I went egg-free for a very short time. All these things, and I've supplemented. I've taken probiotics. I've done quite a few other things. Reduced sugar, eliminated processed foods. All these things to try to remedy my gut, to try to better my diet, better my health, better the way I feel every day. And bone broth was the final step in the process for me. Some people are reading this post and they haven't made a single change to their diet, and they're going to start drinking bone broth, and maybe they don't have the same experience I had, or maybe they do, and their continued diet assault on their bodies will require that they continue to drink bone broth, because they're going to continue to put those things into their bodies that are exasperating their system. So it's kind of a long-winded answer, but basically continuing to drink bone broth is continuing to nourish the inside of your gut lining. And the more you do in terms of eating well, exercising, reducing your stress, getting a good night's sleep, turning off the lights in the dark at night so that it's dark and that you're actually allowing your body to create melatonin, all these things, it's all connected. And we can't be perfect all the time. We can't all turn the lights out when the sun goes down. We can't all get 9 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep every night. We can't avoid stresses in our lives, and those things all take a toll on us. So there's a constant barrage of things coming in to to our bodies and to our minds and to all those things that connect the two, that we need to be aware of. And that's why I continue to drink bone broth. Do I drink it every single day now that my skin is clear? No. I would say I probably drink it 3 to 5 times a week. And I'll go a stint if I run out and I don't have time to make more right away. I'll go a stint without drinking it, a couple of weeks, but I always go back to it. And the reason I go back to it is, like I said, because I want to continue to nourish my body, but also just because I love it. I really love the ritual of drinking it every morning. It's a great way to start the day. I sit down in front of my mirror and put on my makeup and drink my bone broth, and that's kind of my morning ritual. So I hope that answers your question, Lise, and I hope you find what you're looking for. I know we've been going back and forth on the blog, and I hope you find some solutions, and I hope that I've been a help to you in answering your questions. And please keep the conversation going, and if you want to keep it going right here on YouTube, you can do that as well. All right, thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.